Welcome back to Magical Task Force. Turmentic here, and I've got a lot of information that I'm going to be giving to you over the next couple of days. This video right here is going to be just specifically talking about the dragons at the Wizards Unite Fest that just finished yesterday. I'll be going over other stuff with other videos, but I know a lot of people are interested in the dragons, so here we go. So everyone that attended the Fan Fest had their own set of quests that they needed to actually get done. We knew that there were going to be quests going into it, weren't sure exactly what they were going to be or how intensive they were going to be. Nothing was super hard, but they did require you to move around a lot. You couldn't stay in one spot and get everything done. You had to go to the 4 different areas. Now this is where I am at with the dragons after the event. I'm not that worried because the one I'm missing is the Peruvian dragon, which is mine. I'm so excited. Now, as soon as the event started, Constance showed up. Thank goodness you're on the scene. The Calamity has manifested a master cluster of dragons, and we need to get all the help we can get. Oh no, who are we going to get? It's going to be Charlie! This is Charlie Weasley, an expert dragon handler brought in by the ministry to oversee things. You'll be getting your assignments from him. Good luck! Right! I'm Charlie. Nice to meet you. I've done a fair bit of work with dragons in Romania. This environment is crawling with frightened dragon foundables. I'm worried about the effects it will have on the poor beasts long term. We've got to return them to their proper place and time. First things first, we need to clear the site. It'll help us manage the dragons later on. So, we had to finish the first quest in order to actually get to the dragons. We weren't really sure exactly what honestly was going on at first. We saw some of the portmanteaus, the special dragon ones, but we were also seeing the dragon eggs on the ground. So we picked up the portmanteaus. Little behold did we know we would only be able to pick those up once. Every other time throughout the day, it was just picking up dragon eggs. Now that is the first quest we had to do in order to see the dragons. It's really easy. Recover 3 Chinese fireball dragon eggs, dine at inns 5 times, collect ingredients 5 times, and return 7 foundables of any family, and then boom, automatically you started seeing dragons. Now you only got to see the 2 at the beginning, the green Welsh and the opal eye. Those are severe threats. They aren't emergency threats. So they wanted to test you out first, I guess. But this right here is footage of the green dragon. It was awesome. The first dragon I saw, I squealed, and it was pretty awesome because it wasn't just me, it was all the other WooTubers I was hanging out with that day. It was ridiculous how excited we got. So that right there was footage of the green Welsh, and then we started walking over to the bridge where the care of magical creatures are, and boom, there is an opal eye. Now this dragon, it was beautiful. There was a lot of detail on this one. I'm not sure if you can tell in the video, but the wings sparkle. The actual dragon, the belly of the dragon itself sparkles. Now both this one and the green Welsh were pretty easy. I mean, all the dragons are pretty easy. It was 1 or 2 hits for the most part and they were gone. But I wanted to show you this right here. This dragon had my favorite fire. The fire itself was almost metallic. And I mean, every single dragon was unique. Every single dragon had its own different characteristics. But this right here had the best fire in my opinion. Now, to unlock the other 2 dragons, the Chinese Fireball and the Peruvian Viper Tooth, you had to finish part 2 of the quest line. Nothing was super hard. Maybe the walk 2 kilometers was the hardest one just because we had to keep stopping because of all the emergency and severe foundables we were finding. But the first one that I was able to unlock, because they were all broken up into the different 4 houses, was Rowena Ravenclaw. I had to get 5 care of magical creatures returned, 3 mysterious artifacts, and 7 great spells. And once I did, her portrait came up. Now that's from the new registry area from 9 3/4 with the moving portraits, and it was such a surprise. I for some reason just had no idea that they were actually going to be giving them to us. And just the animation itself looked awesome. Every single one of them was different and unique too, which I thought was really cool. They did kind of just give them to us though. I mean, I'm not going to boast my spell casting abilities or anything, but I was able to return them with just 1 cast. And again, I was completely surprised that they actually, they gave those to us. Because I was not expecting it. I knew we were going to get dragons, but I did not think that we were going to be able to get those. And again, one of the small things, Charlie popped up, said something about the house every single time you returned one, and it was just the little things impressed me. The second one I was able to return was Godric Gryffindor. You had to get 2 common Welsh green foundables, 5 magical games and sports returned, and 3 Hogwarts students returned. Now, this again, I was super surprised that we were going to get them, and each and every single one of them, the confoundable actually holding them still was different, which was really impressive. That just, again, how much detail they put into everything. Now, my phone messed up and I was not able to actually get footage of the Helga Hufflepuff one, but you needed a 5 great spellcast, 2 Peruvian eggs returned, and this was the 2 kilometers one that was, like, again, giving people a little bit of a hard time. The last one I was able to do was the Slytherin. It was Salazar Slytherin. I returned 2 Opali fragments. I needed to return 5 dark art fragments, or anything, it didn't matter what it was, and then use 2 potions. Again, like I was saying, every single one of these was different and unique, and each one of them was pretty much centered around the house that it was particularly talking about. Just little details. I loved the little details. So now that all of part 2 was finished, Charlie came back and said, you are clear to take on any dragon you want. And again, these rewards that we got were crazy. Spellbooks, gold, everything. It was just crazy. Now he's like, go take on the Peruvian Vipertooth or the Chinese Fireball. And I'm like, yes, sir, I'm going to go and do that. Now, the third part of the quest wasn't that hard again either. You needed to return 1 Peruvian Vipertooth, 1 Chinese Fireball, then you needed to return 3 Commonwealth green egg foundables, and then you needed to recover 3 Opali egg foundables as well. So again, not that hard, but those rewards right there, though, if you look at it, the 200 gold, like, they really hooked us up for going. So this right here is the Chinese Fireball. I have to say, I loved how this one looked. This one, this is what reminds me of dragons. When I think of a dragon, I think of this right here. And it was spectacular. And it was really cool too, because none of the dragons actually acted the same. I mean, I know it's all animation and it's all ones and zeros and things like that, but they actually put a little bit of time into each of the dragons to make them actually unique, instead of just being copy paste on what the dragons looked like, how they acted, and things like that. Now, this one right here is the Peruvian Vipertooth. This is the dragon that is going to be native to where I am from, and this is probably my favorite one. It looks a little bit like a runt. I love the way that the head actually looks, along with the horns coming out of the top of it. And honestly, this was probably the strongest of the 3. I know that sounds weird, but every other one I was able to pretty much get down to 42 life after every hit, and this one was a little bit harder. It basically had a little bit more life left over after I would hit it. So again, once you finished part 3, you were actually able to go to part 4, and again, the rewards that they gave us were amazing. I loved everything about it. Great work out there. I couldn't have done this without your help. Now there's still work to do, but I'm confident that you'll be able to do it. And then Rita Skeeter showed up. Just minutes ago, you were nobody, but now look at you. I'll need a photo of you, of course. The readers will want to see you looking subtly heroic. Rita Skeeter, can you believe it? She actually showed up. I mean, I was really surprised that Rita actually showed up. Now, my readers expect a certain relatability. Perhaps you can take something with the riffraff. I know, mingle with the little people, the common folk, the riffraff. Audiences lap that up like a Kneasel drinking a bowl of cream. So this was really easy. You just had to take a photo of a foundable, take a photo of yourself actually inside, and then you needed to make 1 new friend. And that actually was really impressive with everybody that was there, because you had people who had their friend codes on their back. You had people who were just walking up to you being like, hey, do you need a new friend? Things like that. It was just the community of players that actually showed up to the event were super helpful, and they had no problem being like, yeah, here's my number. Oh, I'll take your number. It was super impressive. Well, I think I can manage a decent headline, and lucky you'll have an article written by an award-winning journalist, Rita Skeeter, to show all your friends. Ciao. Again, I was really surprised they brought in Rita. I thought it was really funny personally to me. But that was pretty much all you had to do in order to finish the actual quest at the event. Now, you ended up getting, I think, roughly like 26 green books, roughly about 400 or 500 gold, a bunch of family registry experience. And I haven't even talked about all of really the severe and emergency level spawns that we saw there. It was kind of ridiculous. Like I said, I'm going to have to make an entirely different video to actually showing you some of the really awesome, cool stuff besides the dragons that actually happened there. I was able to put things on my registry that I had never seen, and I was able to collect stuff to the point to where some of the stuff that I've only seen 1 or 2 since the game came out, and I actually saw like 8 to 10. So like I said, I'm going to cover that all in a different video. Now, we were able to return 500,000 dragons at the event, so that means that we will have Day of the Dragons on September 7th. You'll be able to not only catch your own dragon, but another dragon from a different region. I think the only region that gets something different is going to be the Asian and India region, where they'll actually be able to catch the Opalite. All 3 other regions will get the Chinese Fireball, meaning that is the portmanteau that was actually returned the most out of all 3 regions. We do get all 4 bonuses as well, so that starts, I believe, tomorrow. So definitely want to check that out. I'll cover that again, like I said, in another video. But this has been Turmentic. I hope you found this helpful. I had a ton of fun at FanFest, and I have so much more that I want to show you. So stick around, and as always, I will catch you next time.